Hey you guys, so welcome back to GiGi Reacts 2, and as I promised, I told you that once Fuller House, the sequel to Full House, came out, I would give you a review. So, excuse me, I wanted to see if it was going to come out at midnight on the 26th of February, which is today. But unfortunately, I literally fell asleep at like 11:58. I was watching something else on Netflix, and I said, "Oh, I've got 2 minutes. Let me just watch something for like those 2 minutes." And I literally like passed out. But I woke up very early this morning before work, so that way I could watch it and review it for you. So the show is about 32 minutes, I want to say. The intro is a cut edited version of the original intro from Full House, and they have like 29 years later, and it's like they were all living, DJ and her three sons were living back at home with their dad, and it was kind of like a, what's the word, interlude, I guess, to the actual new Fuller House introduction, which was very cute. I did like how they did like the age, like the young DJ to the older DJ, from Full House when they got older and they redid the intro and the girls were a bit older, and then how they look now. I did like that, but then again, I like things like that. I like comparison photos. Then the show goes into, what is currently happening, telling what's going on, how Danny and his wife, Eva LaRue, which I'm really, really sorry, Eddie, but, I'll get into that later. How Danny and his wife, who's played by Eva LaRue, who we don't even know her name because he doesn't say her name or reference her at all, except for Honey. How, they are moving to LA because, and so is Jesse and Rebecca, because Danny and Jesse are going to be, Danny and Rebecca, oh my goodness. Danny and Rebecca are going to be on Wake Up USA. And so they have a goodbye party for them. And the next day, and oh, we get to see Steve. Steve was at the goodbye party. And we meet Kimmy Gibbler's ex-husband, which was just really disturbing. He's a very disturbing man. Anyway, so the next day, Steve comes over because he has Comet Junior, whatever. He has like the fourth or third Comet, and she's pregnant and she's supposed to be delivering, but she hadn't delivered. And I guess DJ is either a doctor or a veterinarian, because she told her son to get her medical bag, and she takes it in the backyard and proceeds to deliver the dog in a swimming pool. And all this is happening while her son, Tommy, who's the baby, like Michelle was the baby, is having an ear infection. And so, she's trying to do everything herself, and she's not accepting help, and she's scrambling. And people can see that she's scrambling, and they're like, DJ, do you need help? And she's like, I'm fine. I don't need any help. I don't know why people keep asking me if I'm not okay or whatever. And she goes upstairs and she goes into her room, and she's taking care of the baby, but the baby monitor is on, and it was on the table in the eating area of the kitchen, where everybody was around it listening to her talking to her son about how this is going to be hard, and she has apprehension and fear about, doing this on her own or whatever. It turns out that her husband was a firefighter and he passed away. And they all hear it, so of course they all want to cancel their plans and stay with her. But Stephanie told them to sit down and to listen up, that they're not going to cancel their plans. They did what they needed to do, and she's going to stay with Stephanie. Stephanie's going to stay with DJ. Stephanie is a singer, apparently, who travels different countries and sings. I'm not sure how well known she is, but that's what she does. She's very much so the Jessie. And if you think about it, having DJ, Stephanie, and Gibbler is kind of a perfect female match, because even when they were younger, DJ was always more like her dad, Stephanie was always more like Jessie, and Kimmy was definitely a 27 times more annoying version of Joey. So that's pretty much what happened. So now let's get into my review. So, first of all, Eddie, for you, because I know you wanted me to give a review and tell you about how I was feeling or whatever towards the show, and especially Eva LaRue. Eva LaRue isn't seen, and I made sure I calculated this. Eva LaRue is not seen until like 12 minutes and 50 seconds into the show. I made sure to watch that just for you, Eddie. When she is seen, like I said, her name is not referenced. There's banter between her and Danny, and she doesn't really interact with anyone else aside from Danny in that scene. Her character was really irrelevant. Like, he could have just said that he had a wife, because there were plenty of times throughout that episode where he was referencing her, and she was never seen. There was this one part when they were all like meeting up together and they were doing all the cliches and all the signature lines, and they asked where Stephanie was. Not Stephanie. Oh my God, Michelle. That's where Michelle was. And Danny said that, oh, she had her fashion line that she had to do in New York, so she couldn't make it. And the whole cast looked into the camera as if to look at Mary-Kate and Ashley like, really? Really? Y'all are going to be the male reproductive organ that just didn't show up? Am I going to lie? No, I'm not. I think it was a very smart move that they didn't show up. They did make some references to Donald Trump, like 2, and they were pretty funny, actually. DJ's kids. So you have the baby, which is more like Michelle. Then you have the oldest son. I think his name is Jackson, and he's probably more like Jesse mixed with Stephanie. And then you have Max, who is the exact replica of Danny Tanner. What? Okay. So I was surprised that there was like a couple of pros. Not really a couple, but a few pros. And a lot of cons to this first episode. Okay, so I would do a review for the first episode. So, what I didn't like is that it was such a cliche. It was almost like, you know how like Jimmy Fallon or like Jimmy Kimmel do like the reunion skit episodes with the cast of Where Are They Now and have them like reenact an episode that they did like 100 years ago, like what he did with Saved by the Bell. That's what I felt like this first episode was. They tried to recreate just Full House in and of itself, and it just kind of wasn't cute, because it wasn't meant to be a parody. This is supposed to be a serious show. So it wasn't really cute. The first episode was a complete parody of like the show, with all the cliche sayings and the how rudes and all that. It was just like a cliche. It was kind of like, Where Are They Now? Let's do one episode of Where Are They Now and what are they doing? That's what this felt like. I was not impressed. There were some moments towards the end when it started to really click that, okay, this could be a separate show. And that I did like. I did like when it was no longer the parody and it was just a regular show. It was very cheesy, like Full House is very cheesy. A lot of people are wanting to watch this, relive their nostalgia of their childhood. Please, go ahead. I'm all for everyone giving everything a chance. But honestly, like, if you want that cheesiness, you could just watch Full House. I will watch a second episode to see if I see any differences, to see if the show will actually stand alone and stand on its own. But if it's just gonna be like this, it's just, I didn't like the first episode. I really didn't. Like, there were some very tender moments, like when DJ was breaking down and they were listening to it over the baby monitor. That was really sad. That was really sad. And that was the first time in the whole entire episode. And mind you, that happened like 30 minutes in, 30 minutes in. I like that because you got to see something real, not something that was this carbon copy of Full House. You know what I mean? And that's what I felt like it was going to be. DJ is still very much like DJ. Stephanie is still very much like Stephanie. Except older and more mature. And Kimmy Gibbler is exactly like Kimmy Gibbler. Just she's Kimmy Gibbler, and it's so annoying. And her daughter is so annoying because she's like a mini Kimmy Gibbler, and and you know what? She was annoying on Full House, but it's like something even more annoying about her just not growing up and now having reproduction and, well, reproduction, but like reproducted a child that is exactly like her. That's annoying. I don't know, you guys. That's just how I felt. This is the review for the first episode. I'm not going to say it's the whole show. What I may do is watch a couple of more episodes and give an overall consensus. If I can stomach any more episodes, like I I want the show to stand on its own, like Girl Meets World, which is a spinoff of Boy Meets World. I didn't even know that was a show until I was like at home one day and I was sick from work and I turned on the TV and I was like, I haven't watched Disney Channel in a while. What's going on there? Scary things are going on in Disney Channel now. Scary, scary things. And even more scary to realize that I'm actually an adult because I have no clue what these shows are. But, with Girl Meets World, it wasn't so heavily based off of Boy Meets World and Topanga and Corey and all those flashback nostalgia, trying to bring it back kind of things. It wasn't based off of that. It's standalone on its own. Of course, we know Corey and Topanga, and now we get to see the adventure of their daughter and her best friend, which is like seeing Corey and Sean all over again. But the show still stands on its own, to me anyway. So I'm hoping that Fuller House will be the same. You know what I mean? That's my hope for the show, that it can stand on its own and not be this corny carbonated version of Full House, So that's all I have for you guys today. I need to start getting ready for work because I'm pretty sure that it's like probably 8:30 now and I got to be to work at 9. So let me know what you thought of the show if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, if you have no intention of watching it, definitely review this video and let me know what you think. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share because sharing is caring. I have a couple of projects in the works that I'm excited to be sharing with you guys and to be putting out there. So my channel is coming back with full force. I will have a video, excuse me, that's kind of like a sequel to Where I've Been. I was very candid in that episode. Well, not in that episode, but like in that update video. And I feel like I've just been going through a lot that I really need to share with you guys because maybe it'll help someone. And I felt like I did lose my way. So I don't want to spend this review on that, but just know I will have a video talking about that and some other stuff. So definitely subscribe to find out what's going on and follow me on all my social medias, which I always list down below so you can stalk me. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next GiGi Reacts 2 or in another video. Bye.